Success Insight shares the stories of the people with passion and drive who make things happen in the world. Here's your host, Howard Fox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Success Insight podcast. Today's guest is Andrée Martin, and when we have Andrée Martin on the Success Insight podcast, we know it's Mindset Monday. Andrée is your leadership, mindset, and golf performance coach. She is an LPGA Class A Life member, a nationally recognized top 50 golf teacher and expert, and a member of the Maine Golf Hall of Fame. Recognizing golf's value as a business tool in today's competitive marketplace, Andrée works with individuals, groups, corporate, or organizational clients to create educational and team-building programs that enhance the professional success of aspiring executives. Andrée, welcome to the Success Insight podcast.
Thank you, Howard. As always, it's always fun to join you on Mindset Mondays.
Fantastic. Now, Andrée, you and I are like crossing paths in this great country of ours. I'm heading out west, and you just arrived to Maine, didn't you?
I arrived to Maine not too long ago, yes.
Fantastic. I hope you had a wonderful journey out there.
I did indeed. It was a fun ride, and I'm glad to be here away from COVID and ready to train your talent and trust your talent. And this applies in both business and golf.
Fantastic. So let's talk about train your talent and trust your talent. What are we going to learn today on Mindset Monday?
Well, Wilma Rudolph is one of my idols. She grew up not even being able to walk. And one of my favorite sayings that I thought ties in quite well to trusting your talent is she always said, adversity introduces a man or woman to himself or herself. And it makes you stop in your tracks and really pay attention, because this woman never stopped believing that she could walk. And then she became an Olympic runner. Just an amazing story. And it does speak to the trusting your talent and then training your talent. You can use one or the other simultaneously, because when you look at the pros, they make it easy. Why do they make it look easy? Because they have trained their talent over and over and over. I know in business, we talk about 21 days to create a habit, 10,000 repetitions is actually applicable both in business and in sport, especially sport. And Dana Hee, an Olympic Taekwondo champ, gold medalist, she said, perseverance happens when failure is not an option. And I know Wilma Rudolph would concur. And it really speaks to the challenge that many of us are facing these days with our businesses being stalled or recreated, readjusted, us having to change course, adjust course. But if you trust your talents, and then if I even tie in Jesse Owens' quote, find the good. It's all around you. Find it, showcase it, and you'll start believing it. And I know many of us have had to rediscover that and truly believe in ourselves.
So, Andrée, I've got a question then. The first two quotes, Wilma Rudolph and then Dana Hee, those sounded like very individual exercises for an executive to, on the business side, as the athlete as well, to continually hone their skills and capabilities. Where does that fit? Is that an individual exercise or as a group?
That's a good question. It actually applies in all leadership. When you're wanting to inspire and empower a team, you've got to be the leader, showcase it, persevere, don't take failure as an option. And it's how you as a leader manage your adversity. And then the team falls in suit and follows the leader. And so how you act and how you look at adversity and manage yourself through adversity as an executive, as a leader, the team then pays attention and wants to follow.
How does the leader develop that muscle, so to speak, that perseverance muscle? I would imagine it's difficult as an individual leader. Where am I going to get the support and the coaching, the mentoring to help guide me there?
Well, that's where you and I have a job opportunity too, right? But to get back to the question, practice makes perfect, and it's purposeful practice. And that definitely applies in business and sport. where are you paying your attention and how are you looking at your strengths and weaknesses? Tiger Woods has always been, I don't know if the word is teased, but he hasn't placed as much focus on his sand play because he's focused on his strengths. And in managing his strengths, he figures he won't be in a bunker very often. So he doesn't practice that to the percentages. He practices all his strength shots. Now, that's not to say he doesn't practice, because he practices everything, probably better than most amateurs in golf. But that, again, is something for a leader to pay attention to, right? What's going on in your business and where are your strengths? And as adversity comes in, how can you put a power play on your strengths, as long as they're still working in today's marketplace, to carry it forward, as well as paying attention to the shifts that are needed. And then again, you focus on, okay, what can we adjust for positive change and higher ROI, obviously, right? And in golf, more birdies.
That's the goal, more birdies.
And going for the gold.
That's going for the gold. How has train your talent and trust your talent, how has that helped you and your clients, whether it's the golf client or even the leadership client?
Well, I'm a lifelong educator. I'm always looking to keep my game elevated. And so each year, I'm always looking for new or better ways to get my message across to my students and my clients. And as a leader, we're always looking for ways to level up our games. And I sincerely believe through COVID, there's roads that we can choose. And you can say, oh, poor me, or you say, okay, this is a game changer. This is an opportunity for us to grow in ways we never thought about. In golf, if you get an injury, okay, how am I going to work around this injury so I can still enjoy this game and perform to my absolute best? It's interesting. This very same Dana Hee, the Taekwondo athlete who won the gold, mind you, had a very serious back injury going into the Olympics. And she chose to do visualization over and over and over again, to the point where she trained her body. And just before she went to participate in the Olympics, that inner voice, that rat brain that oftentimes creeps in, tried to get the best of her. And she said, no, I've practiced and trained my entire career for this moment. I'm ready. And so this is where mindset really becomes a big key. And you have to trust your training and your talent, that you have what it takes to do it. And a good leader also knows that if there is a part of business that is not a strength, you surround yourself with people who are strong in that area. And you keep moving forward. You keep elevating and amping up that success opportunity, and you set yourself up for that success.
It seems that a good athlete, I should say a great athlete, a gold caliber athlete, as well as a gold caliber executive, is constantly training themselves, training their talent, trusting their talent. And at the same time, it also would seem to me that good feedback or mentoring from those you trust also to give you not an attaboy, but this is what I see. This is what I hear. This is what I'm seeing, perhaps that you're not seeing, so that I can then take that insight from the people who are observing me and refine some of the work that I'm doing, or perhaps make some tweaks to what I'm trying to achieve.
Yes, absolutely. And even in golf, you're looking at the percentages. And we know parts of the game, 100 yards and in is 68% of your score. Of that, a high handicap golfer, 38% is putting. A tour player, it's probably 28% is putting. Those are big percentages. And then you think a driver is going to be on 14 holes, maybe less. And yet, where is the average golfer putting their attention? They're out there wanting to hit long drives and hit driver all day long. And that can be a leader with their staff, right? There are certain things that staff likes to do and prefers to do, but it may not be what is going to win the game. And so you've got to train your talent and then keep building in the strengths and keep an eye on the strengths of your people. There's a lot of companies out there that don't really pay attention to the strengths that their people have. And there's an opportunity here to really gauge in on your people and their strengths that they really have to bring to the table. And this is a great time to recalibrate and take a look again. There's wonderful programs out there. I know you use the disc a lot. There's other modalities that can be utilized, but all of these help you determine what can amp up and train the talent of the people that you have and elevate their games.
Most definitely. So it's individual talent, and a great leader is also inspiring his or her team to develop their own unique talent, because at any given place in the leadership structure, you may not have the top talent that's needed, but most certainly with the team that you have put into place, there's other folks that have that unique strength and you can leverage them. It's harder, I guess, for that golf professional because they have to have all the pieces. But as you're saying, there's 68% of the opportunity is within 100 yards of the pin.
Of the green, yeah, and the flag, definitely. And it's training to those percentages, right? It's not just training what you love. We love the game of golf. We love business, but there's always a part that we're drawn to, right? And then it's a matter of building up all the other strengths within it.
Fantastic. Well, Andrée, I appreciate you, as usual, lending this wonderful insight that creates that connective tissue between the wonderful game of golf and the world of business. So thank you for joining us on Mindset Monday. And so if our listeners would like to learn more about you and your work, where are the best places for them to go?
Best places to go are on LinkedIn and my website, www.andreegolf.com. And I'm also on Facebook and look forward to helping everybody out. Keep your focus positive. And when the negative comes up, okay, what's that telling you? And how can you train your talent forward and really pull the team together and come up with the best possible outcome? And just keep building on that.
Excellent. Well, Andrée, thank you again. And there you have it, folks. We have been chatting with the wonderful Andrée Martin, your leadership mindset and golf performance coach. Today's episode of Mindset Monday was Train Your Talent, Trust Your Talent, and got a lot of great quotes and really some great insights between how the game of golf and the world of business overlap when it comes to mindset and just really knowing what are the right things to work on and to develop. And then where do you bring your team into the equation? So, this is really just a wonderful way to kind of bring this, the world of sport and business together. And that's why we love having Andrée on Mindset Monday. If you want to learn more about Andrée, do visit her on LinkedIn. You can send her an invitation to connect. You can find Andrée at andreegolf.com, which is her website, as well as the Andrée Golf Facebook page. And of course, we will provide the backlinks to these sites on our show notes. All right, folks, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, be safe, stay healthy, and above all, go out there and have a phenomenal day. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Success Insight Podcast. Take care now.
Success Insight is a production of Fox Coaching and First Story Strategies. Find us online, successinsightpodcast.com.